guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in today. And in today's video, we are going to be building Lemur Island. So, as I'm sure you're all aware, that the lake in Alphabet Zoo has a couple of islands on it. One is for the hippo habitat, and now the second island has been utilised for the lemurs. So, essentially, we have this lovely little island, and it's only viewable by vote. The keeper gate is in this building over here, and essentially, as I said, it's just an island for both types of lemur. I put them both together because it makes sense too, really. A lot of zoos in real life do have like a lemur kind of island theme going on, so we've just got this tropical island in the middle of the lake that lemurs are all happily running around on, and the guests can view it by boat because we have a boat ride and we want the guests to actually use it to see some animals. So let's get to the speed build. So for this build, the main issue I had was getting the actual habitat gate, connecting it to the island. So I decided what I would do was I would have a tunnel going underneath. The reason I chose a tunnel over anything else is because essentially we've got the boat railway in the way, which means I would have to have a very high bridge for the keepers to walk over, which isn't ideal. So essentially we have this tunnel that the lemurs can run through and get from one end to the other, and yeah, I basically carved it out using the path and then just covered it in with some glass pieces just to make it look a bit more aesthetic and intentional, and that's kind of it really. For the tunnel, it was just really straightforward. I just did smooth it all out so that I could then, there's not going to be a path there, there's just going to be a place for the lemurs to run around. So then I wanted to make the entrance and just sort of hide it and obscure this big hole in the ground. So I made like a little kind of storage warehouse, quote unquote. It looks like a storage warehouse for the zoo. Doesn't give anything away too much for the guests, and I really like how it turned out as well. It was just a really simple building. It all kind of merges together, this habitat, and it just suits the habitat really. So I put in a few windows on it just so it's not complete darkness, because obviously this is where the lemurs are going to be dropped off, and then they can run through to get to all the food and everything. It worked really well. It does work really well, and I'm pleased with it. Essentially I wanted the only viewing of the lemurs to be by boat, so people would have an excuse to use my boat ride, seeing as they weren't using it. Obviously with the aquatic pack update, the boat has gone a bit funny, and it's now some of them go one way and the others go in reverse, and it doesn't make any sense. So obviously again with the aquatic pack update, we're now having the saltwater crocodiles that are diving, and we also have the seals, which are new. So I found places for them in Alphabet Zoo. The only animal from the new pack we're not going to be bringing in is the caiman, because dwarf is D, Cuviers is C, and caiman is C. So we're down at S now. There's just no room for the caiman. So I cut out these little bits of bays because this is where the island's going to connect to the saltwater crocodile habitat here, and then the other one it's going to connect to the seal habitat. So I thought it'd be cool if the guests could be looking at a saltwater crocodile on the bay, and there'll be lemurs running around in the trees behind it. I wanted to also have it so that the people on the boat would be able to look up and see the lemurs climbing around the vines and ropes over there. Obviously, ringtail lemurs in particular have quite an open kind of scrubland habitat, whereas the red ruff lemurs have more of a tropical kind of habitat. So I was trying to capture both of that for this island. I wanted it to be quite open because I wanted the guests to be able to see the animals on the island. I was having a bit of difficulty making it so the lemurs couldn't just walk through the plants to get to the bay as well, because obviously the crocodiles are going to be sitting there, and that's going to be dangerous for the lemurs. But yeah, so a lot of it's a very short video as well, because it's just planting an island really. Most of it is doing a lot of plant work, and that's kind of it really. It's just spreading it all out, obviously making sure that the barriers, I do move the barriers at a later date out of off the island, so the lemurs can't escape because they were having issues with escaping. But yeah, generally I was really pleased with how this turned out, and it does work functionally. Obviously this is filmed a couple of weeks behind from when you see it, so the actual habitat itself works very, very functionally with the seals and the saltwater crocodiles because they're in now. I'm not going to say too much more about that because I don't want to spoil the build that's already happening. In regards to Alphabet Zoo and the new aquatic update, which is like really exciting, so there's been a bit of lag for me in making the videos. So if the videos stop appearing, it's because I've one started my new job and just haven't got the time to make videos anymore. Or to quite the same extent. They're probably going to be going from 2 videos a week to 1 video a week. I still want to try and keep the schedule as regular as possible, but I'm going to be working, so life is going to be different and it's going to be busy. But also, yeah, so that's where we're at with that. But also with the aquatic pack, we're going to be bringing in penguins, seals, and otters. So I've decided the penguins are going to go up by polar point because, you know, they're polars. And also like the otters are going to go next to the penguins because LMNOP, so OP, the Okapis are the only other animal that starts with O, so we're going to put otters under O. I know it's not strictly speaking, and they should be under G because it's giant otter in the Zoopedia, but hey ho, we're doing the best we can here with what we got. So yeah, so this is just doing a bit of planning work as well with this. I was, you know, planning out bits of how are we going to stop the animals from going through. I was hoping that these grasses would work as a barrier, but unfortunately the seals can swim through rocks, so that doesn't matter either. And this was me just sort of also planning out like the saltwater crocodile habitat here as well, just so I could see how things would fit. And where I needed to put like the barriers, because the habitat, like the lemurs don't need a barrier because the water's a barrier, but the crocodiles do need a barrier. So anyway, this is it for this video now. The island's pretty much done. I'll leave you with the cinematics, and if you want to see more content, please do subscribe. At the moment, my videos are coming out twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays for Alphabet Zoo. I also Twitch occasionally too, so if you want to follow me on Twitch, I'll leave a link down in the description. And I may be moving more on Twitch with my new job, which, if that's the case, I'll be leaving sort of an update video probably relatively soon, based on when this is being released, because this is now being released in January. Also, Happy New Year, everyone, too. So, yeah, anyway, see you in the next one, guys. Take care.